Yay!
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at one of my favorite Cowboy Bebop episodes in the entire series, featuring one of my favorite villains in the entire animated world. We are of course talking about episode 20, and the Mad Pierrot. Anyway, let's check out why this is a very, very cool episode. This Bebop episode is quite different from all the rest, and has very little dialogue or setup. In fact, Spike and the Mad Pierrot face up right at the start of the episode simply by chance. This 22-minute episode substitutes a traditional story arc for an episode dedicated to a stylish showdown. The first few minutes of this episode does something no other episode does in Bebop, by giving you a real sense Spike might be suddenly and violently killed by a nameless bad guy, one who outclasses Spike in combat capability in every way. For a brief second, you get that holy crap, Spike might actually die feeling. This fight is ultimately one of the most stylish and thrilling fights in the whole series. The pacing and the camera angles are amazing, including first-person perspectives and shadow work. Incredible. Pierrot's powers are completely bonkers, making him absolutely terrifying, combined with a look of complete insanity. We also never get a full breakdown of Pierrot's powers, which gives him a feeling of being something outer-worldly. Pierrot is not completely unfamiliar though. He has traces of villains we are aware of, particularly Joker and the Penguin from the Batman universe. This relationship will become more apparent during the Batman-esque showdown at a theme park at the end of the episode. Pierrot also has the familiar horror element of the insane criminal with a childlike regressive mind. We eventually find out Pierrot was experimented on in a secret project to perfect the ultimate assassin using experimental technology. Visually, everything about this character is amazing, from the grin to the way he laughs.
Let's party!
The way he floats is further animated in such a menacing, unnatural, and spooky way. What's further interesting about this episode is that Spike later agrees to take on this maniac a second time for reasons he doesn't express. There is no bounty for this villain. This reinforces Spike's character as a man with a certain death wish, or maybe one who is always tempting fate, looking for meaning in his life. The episode does play out a bit like a classic Batman detective episode, but with the investigative work being done by Jet and the crew, while Spike is just looking for the confrontation, almost caring nothing about who the man is. He just feels compelled to fight him. As the audience, we know Pierrot is a murderous psycho and needs to be stopped as a bad guy. Spike no doubt has a sense of this, but Spike isn't a traditional good guy. He may want to stop a villain, but he fights more because he is looking for purpose. Jet and the crew's investigation into the Mad Pierrot is equally just as fascinating and stylish as the fight scenes. We learn that Pierrot was essentially tortured during testing, which broke his brain. We can even feel sorry for him a little. During these experiments, a cat is shown as frequently being present, a cat with two unique eyes, similar to Spike. As such, cats become a kink in Pierrot's armor, really the only thing Spike can exploit to give him a chance at defeating him. But it's not directly a cat that saves Spike in the end, but rather his own eyes, one of which was surgically replaced in the past. Spike states in another episode that his fake eye only sees the past, and it seemed to have this effect on Pierrot as well. Ultimately, the episode hits all the sweet spots for explaining the villain just enough to make him mysterious, believable, and downright terrifying. I found myself so engaged by this fight, and both fearful and frustrated for Spike, that I felt emotional during scenes that would normally be more mundane. Take Spike shooting and kicking the shit out of this animatronic dog for a few seconds. I felt his frustration here, and it must have felt good to actually connect a few blows against anything. Alright, I'm Johnny, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, get on it. I'm assuming everyone here has. I hope you appreciated this episode review. If you want to support the channel, do like, subscribe, or comment, and all that shit. And most importantly, do take care, and have a nice rest of your day.